Well, hello everybody and welcome to Absolute Motorsport TV. I'm James Casey, owner of Absolute Motorsport, and today I'm going to be previewing Rally Australia. This is the first video, first proper video that we've done under the Absolute Motorsport TV banner. Previously, of course, we've been uploading as the Alloy TV, and that's been in association with AbsoluteMotorsport.com, which is a website that I've been running. But we've now taken over the channel, and it will be branded now as Absolute Motorsport TV. Content will be coming in 2019, plenty of new stuff that we've got planned for then. But as a little taster, I guess, this weekend we're going to have something a little bit different for Rally Australia. So we've got this preview episode, and it's just with me today. Unfortunately, Josh was unable to record, but yeah, I'll be talking through some of the thoughts ahead of what is going to be a cracking WRC finale. It's been a while since we've gone to the final event with drivers in contention, and we've got 3 of them, not only 2, so it's really a momentous weekend for WRC, and it shows how positive things are looking for the championship at the moment. Of course, the championship is technically a 3-way fight, but really it comes down to a showdown between Sébastien Ogier and Thierry Neuville. Ogier on 204 points, Neuville on 201 points, following a fantastic rally Spain. And it's going to be really interesting to see whether Sébastien Ogier can make it 6 championships in a row, or whether Thierry Neuville will stop him in his tracks and claim his first ever world championship. With Tanak 23 points back, there is an outside chance, a very outside chance, and I'll explain why. It's perhaps even more of an outside chance than you think at the moment, of him winning the championship. But you do never know. And then, of course, we've got the Manufacturers' Championship to decide as well. Toyota currently leading that, and I think they're 13 points ahead of Hyundai. Don't quote me on that, though. And 25 points ahead of M Sport, who are sort of like in a Tanak situation, really, where they've got an outside chance. And they've admitted that they're going to throw everything behind Sébastien Ogier this weekend for the Drivers' Championship. The Manufacturers' Championship doesn't really matter to them. Obviously, it'd be nice if they could take it, and they'll be trying to get all their cars as high as possible either way. But it's mostly about throwing resources into winning Ogier his 6th Drivers' Championship. Now, of course, Ogier will be opening the road, and there was a lot of discussion in Spain about whether drivers were going to be purposely falling behind in the championship by 1 or 2 points, so that they could go second on the road in Australia, have an advantage over the championship leader in that respect, and overhaul the points difference. But Ogier has always said that you need the points in hand, and I really strongly agree with this, to be honest. Rally is a tough world, and it's really easy to get a 0-pointer. Not quite so much in Australia, but it is quite easy to get a 0-pointer or a really low score if you just have a big moment, especially now with the championship more competitive than ever. It's very easy to have a low score if you go off the road and lose 40 seconds, or even worse, actually properly crash or pick up punctures or something. So it is easy for that to happen. It's definitely worth having the points in hand, however little it is. Do I think, though, that it will make a difference? Do I think that that will happen? No, I don't. I don't see it being the case that we're going to have like both of them running off the road and the 3 points making the difference. I really don't see that being the case. It could well be, but I don't think it's going to happen. And I think it's going to be really a fight to the end. And Ogier will be looking on that Friday to minimise the damage. Friday could well play a massive part in deciding this World Championship if Ogier falls too far behind Neuville. And I do think Ogier will be pushing hard on that Friday, but I don't see them throwing absolutely everything at it and throwing themselves off the road, I think that there will be a very slight holding back from our championship contenders to make sure that they really are taking this to the end. It will be tough for them, for both of them, but especially Ogier opening the road, and I do hope and also expect that this rally will be going into Saturday and Sunday with both title contenders still in the game and still pretty close with each other. But Ogier could have a bit of work to do after Friday. Friday's going to be really tough for him. He's got to minimise the damage, make sure that he's only 1 or 2 places behind Nouvelle, and then push really hard on Saturday and Sunday to catch up and make sure that he's finishing just in front of him or behind him and outscoring him in the power stage. But preferably, obviously, he will have to work, I expect, to be in front of him on Saturday and Sunday. I expect that that's where we're going to see everything. But they could, well, you never know, and they could go flat out on the Friday. But I think that they might just hold back ever so slightly. And I hope they do, to a certain respect, to make sure that we definitely see the fight go right to the wire. It would be a real shame if Neville came out the blocks setting fastest times, leading the rally, but pushing way too hard and ends up crashing. That would be a real big shame. So in a certain respect, I kind of hope that Friday's a little bit tame, so we go right down to the wire. And I think that might happen. With regards to if they both ran off the road, could Tanak then take the championship? I think not, and I'll tell you why. Rally Australia, obviously last event of the season, massive trip to get out there. Most of the teams are European, so it's a very low entry list. We've only got 31 entries into this rally. We've got 5 WRC2 cars. I think we've got 3 WRC3 cars, and then we've got a whole host of national cars. The national cars, not all of them are actually eligible to score World Championship points. I was really disappointed last year. Nathan Quinn got a bit of TV time. He got that high up in the rankings in his Mitsubishi Lancer Evo. He actually got on TV and he was in 8th position. But despite that, he didn't actually pick up World Championship points because the car wasn't an R car. It needs to be either a WRC car or an R5, R4, R3, R2, R1 to score World Championship points. So all of your kind of WRC2, WRC3 cars are, and I think most, might not be right, but I would say most national cars probably are eligible, but not all of them. And from looking through, there are a few cars that aren't registered as R cars. So 31 entries, but there's only like 27, let's say, maybe even less than that can actually score World Championship points, and then 11th, 12th place get given points. WRC3 cars, even if Ogier and Neville are in Rally 2, they're still going to be able to beat the WRC3 cars. They're just 2-wheel drive cars. They finish like half an hour, maybe even up to an hour behind, I think, sometimes. Well, no, yeah, it usually is about an hour behind on the overall classification. If you're in Rally 2, unless you've missed a whole day of stages, you're not going to pick up enough penalties to drop behind there. So you're in this situation where I think that cars, even under Rally 2 rules, can still score points. Chris Meek last year was 7th place and he missed 2 stages. That was quite interesting. That was controversial because Citroen told him, don't go to the next stage, the car's in too much of a state. He said, no, I want to continue. But in the end, he went back to service, missed a couple of stages, got penalties for that, but he still finished the rally in 7th place. Such was the attrition. We could see, we have got, I'm not counting it out completely because we have got, what have we got, 12, we've got 12 full WRC cars. Jordan Seradidas is an amateur driver, basically, who's turned up again. I think he'll probably be behind the R5 cars, so he's probably not much of a threat. But we have got 11 WRC cars. Maybe if Ogier and Neuville run off the road, but the other 9 finish, then they can't score points in the Rally 2. But that doesn't tend to happen. You do most rallies there are WRC2 cars that are getting up into like 8th or something, and because there aren't that many WRC2 cars and not competitive, there's no Skodas or anything, I think that even under Rally 2, Neuville and Ogier could get into the points, and that just makes Tanak's job impossible. If they can crash, restart the rally, still get points, then it's not going to happen. As I said with Ogier, he's 23 points ahead. M Sport won't be afraid to move their cars out of the points to get him into the points as well, so you can count out 2-3 M Sport cars, because Serradeus is in that in Ford, so they'd move him out the way. So yeah, I think it's extremely unlikely that Tanak would be able to win the World Championship, even if Ogier and Neuville crashed. Not something that would happen at any other rally. Usually if you crash at rally, there's enough WRC2 cars to fill out the points then. But yeah, under Rally 2, if you only get 15 minutes of penalties in Australia, you could well still finish like 8th or something, perhaps even higher than that. So yeah, that's why I think that Tanak has very, very little chance, even less than you would usually think. I don't think they are going to run off the road. Not both of them. It would have to be on the same stage, because if one of them runs off the road, the other guy will take it easy then. So it's extremely unlikely that Tanak will win this championship, basically. But as I said earlier, never say never. And I say that basically just to cover my arse. But yeah, so that's that. I don't think Tanak will win the championship, but I do think that he will win the rally, and I do think that he will bring home the manufacturer's crown for Toyota. Him and Jari Matti have been in fantastic form of late. Both of them, they should have been 1-2 in Rally Catalunya had it not been for punctures for Jari. Well, punctures for it was punctures that ended both of their chances. They would have been 1-2 in that rally, and I expect, all things being well, that Toyota can pick up another 1-2 here in Australia, and then they would take their manufacturer's crown in only their second season back. An incredible achievement. But you can't count your chickens, and Hyundai haven't had a great season with Hayden Paddon and with Andreas Mikkelsen in terms of speed. Paddon's picked up some okay results, but speed-wise, I think Paddon and Mikkelsen won't be able to get up there for Hyundai. Neuville, I think, will. Obviously, if he's fighting for the championship going into Saturday and Sunday, he'll go all out and be right up there. But they need to close that 13 points down. With Toyota definitely being competitive, they need all of their cars up there, and I can't see it happening, to be honest. I mean, they might do. They might pull it out the bag at the end of the season. Obviously, Paddon still isn't confirmed for next season, and Mikkelsen's had a dreadful year, so they have got stuff to prove. But I can't see it happening. I cannot see Paddon and Mikkelsen getting up there with the Toyotas. So it's a bit of a shame. Hyundai, points-wise, they are within having a shout, but I don't see them being competitive enough, unfortunately, to challenge Toyota. 13 points is reasonably difficult to make up when Toyota is so quick, and they've got 3 cars at the event, so if one of them has a problem, they still score. You only score with the two cars, so they'd probably be alright, unless multiple cars run into trouble. M Sport, again, their chances are very slim. 25 points. As long as you get 2 cars to the finish, again, even under Rally 2, you score at least 10 manufacturers' points if you get 2 cars across the line on Sunday. No matter how long they take, if you get 2 cars across the line on Sunday, you pick up 10 manufacturers' points. So M Sport need to be, they need to be 1 and 2 or 1 and 3, and hope that Hyundai don't do brilliantly, and that Toyota have ran both their cars off the road. So, yeah, it's very unlikely to happen for M Sport in the same way it is with Tanak. So really, it's a 2-horse fight in both championships, but it's going to be a cracking 2-horse fight in both of, especially in the drivers. You never know with the manufacturers as well. I think it could be quite interesting if Hyundai get a good event together. Moving on a little bit, this is a little bit of a different thing, but I just wanted to open up a little bit of discussion, and if you want to comment on this, please do. Should Rally Australia be the final rally of the season? And obviously it's a bit odd saying this ahead of the weekend that I'm looking forward to massively, and I'll be following it. I'll be getting up at the ridiculous times you have to for Rally Australia to follow all the stages on WRC All Live. But will the casual fan? I don't think so. The power stage, the final stage of the season, could decide a world championship there and then, ends at the coverage ends at 3:30 in the morning. Casual fans are not going to watch that. I think that's a real shame. Obviously, I'm talking about European fans. I must admit that. European fans aren't all fans, but they're a majority of fans. They're the people that are most likely to just turn on the TV and go, right, I'm going to casually watch the WRC and watch a fantastic, hopefully, power stage deciding the World Championship. What could be a better advert for WRC than that? And unfortunately, it won't happen. It will only be the dedicated hardcore fans that are getting up in the morning to watch all of these stages and the TV stages if they don't have WRC Plus. So I think it's a real shame. Let me know. I mean, there are some benefits to. I mean, obviously, it's got to be a world champ. It has to be a world championship. I do agree with that. But should Australia be the last rally? Is what I'm kind of getting at. You could say that there are some benefits to it, but I say that that's a real bad disadvantage, basically, to having Australia as the final round of the season. But let me know what you think. Do you think that it should be moved on the calendar to allow somewhere like Wales or Spain? Imagine if Spain had been the final rally of the season with Loeb, Ogier, Neville, Evans, Sordo all in the battle for the win on kind of afternoon TV in Europe. That would have been absolutely amazing. Just thinking about it is really good. But yeah, should that happen? Should Australia be the final round of the season? I'd love to hear your thoughts. In terms of my predictions now, so I've sort of told you kind of thoughts, but I haven't conclusively told you who I think is going to win the World Championship. And that's because I don't know. And I think anyone who says that they do know is lying, because Ogier, Neville, it could go either way. That is for certain. How the season has gone so far, you just have no idea what's going to happen. Only 3 points in it. Effectively, it's who finishes in front. Ogier might finish 1 or 2 places behind and still be able to pick it up. But basically, it's who wins, who's ahead out of those two, sorry. And that's just too hard to call. I really don't know. Ogier opening the road, it's going to be tricky. He's done it before with VW. He's won Rally Australia with VW opening on Friday and on Saturday. But that was with VW. Last year, he didn't do brilliantly at this event opening the road. I think he was 4th in the end. Neville won the event last year from 2nd on the road. There's lots of things to consider, but at the end of the day, I just can't call it. If I was just to say a name, I'd say Ogier, because he's done it before. But it's purely because he's done it before. It doesn't really take into consideration the fact that Neville is a new man this season, and he's driven a lot better than he did in 2017. He's a much more rounded driver now. It doesn't consider that to say Ogier just because he's done it before. So, yeah, you say one name, you say Ogier. And I think that's what most people are saying, because he's done it before. But that's not really a conclusive way of saying it. It's going to be so tough to call. What I would like to see is if anyone genuinely thinks that Tanak can win a championship. You get a lot of money for that, I think. But yeah, it's just so hard to call, and it's going to be a fantastic event. As I said, I really hope that it goes right down to the wire, right onto Saturday and Sunday, and I'll definitely be watching all of the stages. And yeah, if you could bear it as well, it's definitely worth getting up in the morning to watch the TV stages, or subscribing to WRC Live and watching all of them. In terms of coverage during the weekend, there'll be articles going up at the end of each loop, as long as I can stay awake, on absolutemotorsport.com, so make sure to check those out. And then after the rally we will have something as well. Make sure to check out our Twitter account at abs__motorsport. There's 2 underscores. Make sure to check that out, because we'll have details on what we're going to be doing after the rally to discuss our new or retaining world champion. But anyway, thank you very much for watching this episode. Something a little bit different, and a little bit of a taster of what's to come next year with Absolute Motorsport TV. But I hope that you've enjoyed it. I hope you enjoy this weekend. I'm sure it's going to be an absolute cracker, and I will see you on the other side where we have our world champion. Goodbye.